morning.
Welcome to the Femme Spot. I'm Victoria.
I'm Jasmine. Essence isn't here with us today.
We were just talking. We need to get like a cardboard cutout of Essence just to like stick in the corner when she's not here.
Definitely. She can have like interchangeable clothes and stuff.
Right? She'd love that.
She would. She would style herself every day. But speaking of clothes and just general outlook, we're talking about self-image today. Self-image develops over time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of things that women struggle with on the daily just based on being in society, because we're supposed to be on all the time. We're supposed to be beautiful. We're supposed to be nice. We're supposed to be smart. We're supposed to be cultured.
But at the same time, we're supposed to be all those things, but never too much of one.
Yes.
Because then that's where we find ourselves in trouble.
Yeah, clearly.
So we're here to talk about that today. And I think the great thing about talking about a topic like body image is that no matter what you are, who you look like, you'll deal with image issues.
Yeah.
You know, you'll always have issues about that. So I try to keep that in mind when I feel kind of down about myself. I'm like, you know what I'm going through, like, I'm sure there's another girl anywhere in the world is going through the same thing.
Absolutely. I mean, it doesn't only happen to women. It also is a problem for men.
Yeah.
And like a lot of men in this country in this country and otherwise, I'm assuming, but I know definitely in this country that men do fall victim to things like anorexia nervosa and bulimia and all of that. And those are a lot of cases that go unnoticed because of the fact that like men are supposed to be strong and they're supposed to have like this positive self-image too, and they can be like macho and braggadocious and like they can love themselves to any extent and it's fine for them. But for women it's not always fine. And like it's a hard thing to balance, because it's like you don't want to love yourself too much that you like drive people away, but you also don't want to hinder yourself from being the best person that you can be. We actually wanted to talk about the Like a Girl campaign that always released during the Super Bowl. It was probably like a 5-minute commercial, mm-hmm. basically asking different women, girls, guys, children, whatever it may be, on how you run like a girl, how you throw like a girl, how you fight like a girl. And it was actually eye-opening, because at first like everyone was doing like the stereotypical like, oh god, my hair,
oh my god, I can't do anything right,
waving and getting like
flailing about. But what's interesting is halfway through the commercial they switched it from grown women and like there was a young man on there to a younger little girls, and all of them, when they said show me how to run like a girl, normal, show me how to hit like a girl, like, you know, normal. There is no flailing, there is no trying to be extra. And I thought it was a really beautiful commercial, you know? And at first when I was watching it and I saw the women acting like that, I was just like, no. Yeah. I was like disappointed. Yeah. I'm like, how could you? Come on.
Representing us well.
Come on. Why are you going to buy into the stereotype?
Absolutely.
But they gave him a chance afterwards. Mm-hmm. I guess they must have showed, I don't know what changed their mind, but they gave him a chance afterwards to do it all over again. And I thought it was a really beautiful commercial. Good message.
I agree. I mean, it's definitely something that more people need to be seeing every day, just because like they were saying, how come like a girl has become an insult? Like, why do you tack that onto a phrase and suddenly it's a negative? And I feel like that definitely affects like a child or even a woman's self-image when you're saying like, oh, like you fight like a girl, you act like a girl. It's like, yes, I am a girl. And I am strong, and I can fight, and I can play, and I can win, and I can still be a girl and all of those things. And I feel like in this society lately, a lot of people are kind of associating women with losing. You know what I mean? Like,
or being like a weaker or more. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I feel like as a woman, sometimes we're in more of a place to get taken advantage of. Mm-hmm. But is that necessarily a sign of weakness, or is that just a sign of how society tells us we're supposed to be treated and how we've been treated?
That's a very good question. I feel like women are... I love being a woman. I'm never going to say that I don't love being a woman, even like when I'm hurt, even when I'm not happy with myself, because women embrace themselves wholly and unforgivingly. They will always accept themselves the way that they are, in my opinion. I feel like a woman is so quick to just be like, I'm going to do this, you know what I mean? And I'm going to put my all into it and it's going to be amazing. I feel like men are kind of, in my opinion, from what I'm seeing, men are kind of like half-hearted in a lot of things that they do. because it's not like cool to have pride in yourself. You know what I mean? It's not cool to have pride in your work. It's not cool to dress nice as a man and like groom yourself.
It's
like,
cool to be sloppy.
Yeah, and I don't get that. Like,
I wanna quote my favorite movie, Clueless. Why is it that guys expect to just like come out of bed, they throw on a backwards cap and some baggy shorts, and they expect girls to swoon?
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
There needs to be a finesse, and
you
most
need
people
to
don't
be
have a
clean, brush your teeth,
Yeah.
take a shower, wear deodorant.
Small little things, really little things. They
You know?
add up. They really do.
It's so annoying.
It is annoying because it's like women are expected to be on all
And hairless.
the time. Yes.
Hairless.
Confusing. Very confusing.
Very confusing. Hairless except for their eyebrows, their eyelashes, and the hair on their head.
There's actually a disease, it's called like Alexandria's disease or something like that, where you have like purple pupils, or purple irises, and the only place that your hair grows is your head. And like literally like what you just described, your eyelashes, your eyebrows, and the hair on
I'm a
your
little
head.
jealous because actually I don't even.
They can't procreate.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
That is the downside.
Damn, I did not know that.
So
wow.
I would rather like.
You know
be
what?
a
I'm
normal-
okay with shaving then.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I only like that because I'm like, well, then I don't ever have to shave. So
Yeah.
there
but I
you
feel
go.
like- yeah, because you're basically kind of like the same genetic makeup as like a prepubescent boy. So I mean, it's a give and take. You know what I mean? It's a give and take.
Mm-hmm.
But like I just feel like women are so ready to be themselves. You know what I mean? Even if it's like we have a friend next to us. You know what I mean? Like women do everything together because we know that there's strength in numbers, and it's like.
True.
By yourself, like let's say like you go to a festival or something like that and you're like, oh man, like I really want to dance, I love the song, but I'm alone. But like if you're with your friend, you don't care. Care. You guys act crazy, you guys are dancing, and like I don't see that of guys. Guys like try to do everything and they're like, I'm just gonna do this and I'm gonna be a man, and I'm not gonna like talk to my friend like this. I'm gonna sit here and we're gonna talk about things that don't
You're gonna
matter.
take sips of beer and occasionally make comments about what's going on.
Right? Like that's not a conversation. That's
Yeah.
that just confuses me because it's like that's sort of built into like the societal norm of what a man is supposed to be. I also did want to talk about the Real Beauty campaign started by Dove in 2004. In accordance with self-image, this kind of rubs me the wrong way, only because I love the campaign. I actually do love it because it shows women of all shapes and sizes and colors and temperaments. You know what I mean? Every single type of woman, not every single type, but most types of women, a larger sphere of women are shown in this campaign. However, I just feel like the people who aren't there, like how Victoria's Secret had their very sexy campaign, selling clothing, fundamentally selling clothing.
Not only that, but I feel like the Dove campaign, that was I think they had a good idea in mind, but they missed the mark because by trying to include other women, you excluded the other types. And Victoria's Secret, for what's worth, like I know people say like, oh, you know, their models are so beautiful, unrealistic, but you know what? They're not out there to sell their models. They're there to sell the clothing. And never once did they say anything about every woman. It's always just, it's about being sexually empowered.
Yes.
And that's why I like Victoria's Secret as a brand.
I mean, I don't like them because none of their clothes fit me really. I mean, like some of their clothes fit, but definitely their bras and underwears do not fit me. And that's a problem that I have just because like, I mean, you're such a big brand. You'd think that they would like open up to more sizes.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, like they don't go past like a D or something or like a double D. And I was like, really, dude? Like you could have made making so much more money. But I mean, maybe it's just like a processing thing. But I mean, I totally agree with you. Like I feel like by excluding like people who look like Victoria's Secret models just because they look like Victoria's Secret models,
or they're tall, thin women.
yeah, like that's not helping the cause. Like there are so many people, like I've been hearing like skinny shaming, and okay, like don't get me wrong, it's not it's not necessarily bad to be skinny in the society. It's fine to be skinny. A lot of things like clothing are catered to thinner women and thinner men, but when you hear it every day, like, oh, you're so skinny, you should eat. Like, oh, like, are you eating? Like, are you okay? You look sick. This, that can get annoying. I feel like
I used to get that a lot. I was very thin in high school. I was a lanky person. People would be like, and they didn't know it. I have a big appetite. Anyone who knows me knows I love to eat all the time.
Yes.
I could do it whatever. But people would make comments like, oh, she needs more meat in her bones. Or so even guys would be like, Victoria's really pretty, but she's too skinny. And I was like, wow, I really can't win, can I? I was just like, gain too much weight and all of a sudden you're too big, lose too much and you're too skinny. So you know what? You can't really, it sucks, but I don't know. It just sucks.
It's just like, it's a polarity almost, where it's just like, you can't, you have to be the perfect size.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you have
not
to have
even the size, the right proportions.
Yes.
Like, you have to have like a 24-inch waist, but have a fat ass, and then have like, I feel like the ideal size for like, at least guys generally, is like a full C cup. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
That's pretty stable. A C cup is nice. I feel like a C cup is like good. I
wish I could achieve that, but
like, I feel like, I don't know, like, D is nice, but I feel like D can be too much for what people have been telling me. But honestly, I mean, whatever it may be, like, it's hard to just be a person in the society just because, like, everybody has their size, everybody has what they look like, but it's not right for somebody. Mm-hmm. I mean, with all of these campaigns and all of these things going on, like, what is marketable? Is it necessarily, like, quote unquote, you respecting yourself? I feel like I've gotten to this conversation so many times where women who enjoy their bodies and love their bodies, people are like, you don't respect yourself. How are those things, like, one goes into the other? I don't understand that personally. I don't know how you feel about that.
I mean, listen, I used to be a body shamer. Not a body shamer, but I used to be like a slut shamer back in the day. I'll be honest, I always had a comment like, oh, this girl's like this girl's like that. But you know what though? As you mature as a woman and you start to meet women from all different walks of life, you see that we have to work together. Mm-hmm. You know, like, people take advantage of us because they see us put each other down.
Absolutely.
There's no solidarity there. And if there's no solidarity between us women, then we're going to get taken advantage of forever. Absolutely. And that's why now I make an effort. Even if I don't necessarily agree with the way another woman conducts herself or the things that she does, it is not my place to judge her unless it's personally affecting me.
Right.
You know?
I get that.
And I think that if people want to take pictures, like Kim Kardashian, she gets a lot of flack because she takes these very revealing pictures. And, you know, people are they call her cheap and say, like, oh, you're a mom. What does any of that have to do with that? She has a beautiful body. Mm-hmm. And if she wants to share that, she will. And, you know, for what it's worth, I feel like as a woman sometimes, like, it's either like, it's like the world will swallow you alive if you don't use what you got to your advantage.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't take advantage of your looks and capitalize on it, somebody else will.
That's very true. I feel like a lot of society is, like, based on how women can change, or like what can be edited by, like, for a woman. Like Sephora, oh my god, I could spend hours in there.
So many hours.
Just making myself look
so
different,
much money.
Making myself look better, making myself look more colorful, more bright, more healthy, more vibrant, you know what I mean?
But you do it for yourself though. You don't do it because you're trying to attract a mate or whatever.
Exactly.
I don't spend like $50 on foundation so some guy can notice it.
Yeah.
Believe me.
Guys don't even notice. They're like, oh wow. Like, nobody's like, hey, wow, your skin is like all the same color. That's like amazing. That's never a first date thing. Literally, I just went on a first date. I wore like no makeup. He didn't even know the difference. Like, it's so arbitrary that people think like, oh, I have to do this for other people. No, do it for yourself, because you're the one spending money on yourself. You're the one who has to live with yourself at the end of the day. And like, I don't understand this idea of like everything that we do, just because we're documenting it, it's for other people. Like with the thing that you said about Kim Kardashian, everyone thinks that she's doing it for other people.
I think she's doing it for herself. She doesn't need to do it for other people. She's got $1 billion. She got a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
And if she wants to post up those pictures of herself, then go ahead, Kim.
Yeah.
Love yourself.
Let her.
If that's how she chooses to express herself, and that's what makes her feel good about herself, then she has every right to do so, just like every other woman out there.
Yeah. We could talk about this a ton more, but we also wanted to talk about stereotypes based on self-expression. So, I mean, this can go many ways. You know what I mean? Like
the stereotype conversation.
You can have like a short haircut and like wear a flannel and like baggy jeans, and like somebody will be like, "Oh, you're a dyke," and
you could be 100% straight.
Yeah.
You just may want to prefer that. But at the same time, I want to play devil's advocate for a second. A lot of stereotypes are based on truths, maybe not of a majority or a whole, but a section of it.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I feel like a majority of women who do dress like that, you know, happen to be dykes.
Yeah. And I mean, like, where do we go with that? You know what I mean? Like,
it's a gray area.
I feel like the only way that you can get out of that is, like, the only way out is through. Like, you just have to accept that is a stereotype of your culture, and either you do better than that, or you just embrace that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like also you can reclaim a type of thing and make it better. You know what I mean? Like, I know that, like, I just feel like it's a general stereotype that, like, black people are looked at as, like, unintelligent. But constantly, I'm seeing pictures and videos of, like, young black adults graduating from college, going to med school, going to law school.
Getting PhDs, becoming president.
Thank you, Barack Obama. Thank you, Obama family, for being the crowning achievement.
The Obama family is, I mean, in addition to being all like very successful people, it is such like, I don't know, they're such a beautiful family to look at. I love it.
I do like looking at them. They're like just gorgeous.
It hurts.
Did you see them at like their dresses? Oh my god.
Oh my god, yes. I know exactly what you're talking about, but I know it was Malia met Ryan Reynolds. Her sister in the background was like giving it the thumbs up. I was like, oh, I love that.
I mean, like, it's such a beautiful thing that, like, we have, like, youthful representation of black women, of Asian women, of this, that, and whatever. There are other minorities that don't have that representation. And, like, it's hard because it's, like, then all people have to go on are stereotypes. I was actually talking to someone about Sofia Vergara. And the person I was talking to about, they're Hispanic, and they're really upset with Sofia Vergara because they feel like she's not a good representation of Hispanic women. They say that, like, oh, like, all she does is, like, she uses her body, and she's, like, overly sexual, and she's, like, not smart. Like, when she was in Soul Plane, like, the reason why she knew how to fly a plane was because she was having sex in the cockpit with the pilot. So that's how she knew how to fly a plane. And I was like, but what's wrong with that? What's wrong with knowing?
You're going to make her out to be that woman anyway, so she's going to use you for it, and she's going to make money off of it. And I think that's 100% okay. Absolutely. Sofia Vergara is a beautiful and talented woman. She's not like, you know, like on the same level as Helen Mirren, actress-wise, but she's good at what she does, you know? And I don't know why people are going to give her flack.
I feel like if there's going to be a market for it, so you might as well get paid.
Exactly. You might as well get paid for the things people are going to use against you.
Yeah. Like, not everyone is going to be an astrophysicist. Does that make anyone else's job less relevant than an astrophysicist? Like, no, you know what I mean? Like, just because, like, we're, like, somebody's not at the top tier of what they could be doesn't mean that they're not important, doesn't mean that they're not doing something well, doesn't mean that they're not fighting for themselves and for the stereotypes that are based in their culture or in the group that they belong to, the community that they belong to. I just feel like a lot of the time, like, you have to take stereotypes with a grain of salt. I feel like I'm referencing Middle America when I say this, because I feel like mainly in Middle America do they take stereotypes very seriously because they don't really have any other reason to do so. I feel like they kind of just take everything at face value, and that's really the problem, you know what I mean? Like, some people don't use their head. People are more like, oh, like, this was said on TV, it must be true, you know what I mean? Like, oh, Sofia Vergara, like, she plays like a kind of like ditzy woman on like a comedy show on Wednesdays. Ugh, they must all be like that, you know what I mean? And
there's some ugly stereotypes out there. I mean, that's definitely it's definitely not a pleasant stereotype to have. There's some very ugly stereotypes out there, especially about women in general.
Absolutely.
Even just being Asian, being an Asian girl. I mean, we've talked about this before. How many times you hooked up with a guy? It's like, you're the first Asian girl I ever hooked up with. Oh my God. And you know,
never say that to anyone.
Never ever.
Do you want someone to be like, oh wow, like, you're like the first Arabic guy that I've ever hooked up with? Like, no, like, why do you? That's not important. Why is it important? It's not. Like, it.
Is there something so like? And guys think like, oh, like, I like I find this really racist. I find this white guys do this a lot. When they'll hook up like with like an Asian woman or like a very like fair skinned black woman or like whatever, and they'll be like, oh, like, you know, I've never been with like exotic women before. I'm like,
get out, leave. I'm sorry. The whole thing is dry now. I gotta go. I don't get that, because it's like, why does it matter like what I look like or where my family is from?
What does my skin color got or my ethnicity got to do with anything?
Like, yes,
if you like me, then you like me.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Like, I feel like, yes, the first thing that you see is a person, you know what I mean? Like, you see, like, their physical form, you know? That's why we're saying, like, men, like, if you want ladies, you should be clean. Like, that's, like, general.
Take
you know
care
what I mean?
of yourself.
Yeah, like, that's not a crazy thing to ask of you, considering that you're the only one who occupies your space. But, like, that's not all it is. That's not all we are. You know what I mean? And to say something like that, like, oh, you're the first Asian girl, you're the first black girl, this, that, and whatever, you're the first mixed girl that I've ever hooked up with.
Or I usually don't, you know, go for like exotic women.
Ooh, no, I'd be like, okay, then you're not gonna go for this one. Deuces. Like,
bye.
I can't. Like, a lot of people will speculate and like wonder what I am, and when I tell them, they're like, oh, like, I thought you were Dominican, this, that, and whatever, and I'm like, okay, and like, why is it important? Like, what
or you're Filipino. Do you ever get that whole like Asian girls are freaky stereotype?
I don't know.
I've gotten that.
I've never heard that.
Some guys are like, yo, I heard Asian girls were mad freaky in bed, and I'm like, I guess you'll never find out.
Yeah, like, what? Don't ask me that.
Don't ask me that.
I feel like men really screw a lot of things up when they say things like that, and it's like, they're like, oh man,
don't speak.
She's like so mean. She's this, she's that, and it's like, you kind of mess it up for yourself by
being dumb.
Yeah, like,
by opening your mouth.
Or like, not even do some research. Go out and talk to people. Don't think of them as a stereotype at all. Like, yes, like, there are Asian women in porn. Yes, there are like black women in porn. Yes, there are mixed women in porn. There's everyone.
Since we're talking about porn too, you know what's crazy? I saw something on the internet. Someone put in Google searches like Asian women abused, Latino women abused, black women abused, and all of those things, the first things that came up were porn. But when white women abused was put into the Google search, a bunch of articles came up.
Interesting.
About just white women, like, you know, like being attacked. And I think that speaks volumes about how the way that I guess American culture fetishizes minorities.
Absolutely.
You know?
Like I feel like minorities are definitely, like, just with like an innocuous phrase like, oh, I've never been with a black girl before, I've never been with an Asian girl before, that immediately fetishizes your form. You know what I mean? You're immediately relegated to just what you look like, not the person that you are, not like what you have to offer the world. You know what I mean? And it's like, sometimes you kind of want to erase that. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's annoying because you're like, damn, like, why? Like, it almost feels like a burden sometimes, because like people are constantly asking us, what, like, where are you from? And I always say New
America.
York. Like, I always say America, or I say New York, because it's like, that's a dumb question. I'm from here. I was born here. Like,
there's a way to ask about my ethnicity and be respectful, I feel like, you know? But a lot of guys don't really get it.
Yeah.
We could talk about this for hours, but actually I want to get to the mystery topics. We are running out of time. Michael, what is our mystery topic today?
We're ready.
The mystery topic is...
Wait, before you do, can you appear in the screen again like you did last time? In the corner?
Oh my goodness. Yes. Yes, that is possible.
Yay!
Yay! We love when Michael comes on the show, by the way.
Yeah.
We love it.
He's like our Wizard of Oz, but...
He is. He's our
not
Oz.
All right. The mystery topic is... What are your stereotypes
What do you
that
mean?
you're working against when it comes to aging?
Aging?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, can you ask that question again?
Can you rephrase it?
Yeah.
Do you want to just answer what stereotypes we're working against right now?
Like,
Right,
I'm just
as far as getting old.
As far as getting old,
Well,
what stereotypes are we working against?
Yeah.
I feel
Anything
like...
in particular, like wrinkling or not
Well,
being able... What do you think?
I'm
Michael,
sorry.
we're like 21, 22.
Exactly.
We're not
So this is
aging.
good to watch this in the future to see what you said.
Well,
Oh.
good black don't crack, so I'm gonna live forever.
My mom still looks like she's 32 and she's
literally.
almost 50.
Yeah.
So I think I'm okay.
She's got it.
I feel like right now, something I'm working against personally is that a lot of girls my age in college, you know, we like to go out, we like to drink, we eat a lot of pizza, we eat a lot of pasta, we eat a lot. and we don't gain weight because I feel like we're young, but we get a pouch.
Oh,
The alcohol pouch.
Worst.
And I've been actively trying to lose the pouch for a while now.
But then I keep drinking.
and then I keep drinking, and it's awful. And I try to stay away from beer. I had a beer last night.
Yeah,
So mad,
you
but
drink a lot of beer actually.
I do.
Compare it, because I'm not a beer drinker. Like Caribbeans, we love our liquor, But I feel like I don't drink that often just because of the pouch. But when I do drink, it's heavy and it's hard.
Oh my God,
'Cause
yeah.
I feel like
I like dark liquor. Also, definitely not the best for me.
Well, in terms of aging, I actually work at a spa. So, I see women and sometimes men come in all the time and they're literally afraid of aging. And I'm just like,
What's wrong with that?
I
Take
don't-
care of yourself.
like,
That's all you gotta do,
that's
right?
really what it is, And I feel like they come to the spa because they want to take care of themselves, but they just don't know how. So they pay exorbitant fees for somebody else to do it. And it's marketed literally. There was an article written by my company, and they were saying aging is a disease, and I was like, "You're going too
That's so
far.
much. That's
too
propaganda.
far,
That's
right?
straight up. That's manipulative right there.
That's what I'm saying. It's like they're marketing the idea that you can prevent aging when
But-
the world still turns.
I don't get it. Listen, there's some women Christy Brinkley is 61, 62. She looks amazing, better than half the women my age. You know what I mean? And I'm sure she got some work done, there's nothing wrong with that. But you age gracefully. Take care of yourself. Smoking cigarettes is gonna age you faster. And you know why I noticed that? Because a lot of girls I went to high school with or middle school with, they started smoking very early, and now in their 20s they're starting to get the bags under their eyes. You know what I mean? They get the voice. It's not looking good on them. They're starting to age, and they're only 20.
And that's damn. I'm sorry. Drink some water. Have a nicotine patch. I'm sorry. I really
Chew some gum.
Yeah. I can't. I can't get behind that whole idea of I shouldn't be worried about aging right now, in my opinion, just because it's just what I look the same. I feel like I look the same, but I feel like I also take care of myself, so that's why I look the same. But in terms of stereotypes that I'm trying to combat, I really don't know how to answer that question. I'm always working towards defeating the angry black woman stereotype. I feel like that's something that I'm constantly working towards, even though I am a very angry person. But I should be an angry woman, or I should just be an angry person. I shouldn't be an angry black woman, because then people are like, oh, you're getting out of control. You're getting so, people are very aversive to that, because it's not only am I a black woman, I'm an educated black woman, so you don't want to get reamed. You don't want to get reamed by me, I'm just saying.
I feel like I'm always working against that whole, you're pretty, but I don't think you're too smart. But I actually am really smart. I'm very quiet and selective about it. But come at me, and I will show you how smart I am.
I will show you the receipts.
I really will, and you're going to feel really dumb.
All right.
Anyway, that's all the time we have. Have a very happy Easter for those celebrating it tomorrow. Yeah, check us out on YouTube, on sevnetwork.com, and on our Facebook page, The Femme Spot.
We'll see you guys later.